For the purpose of this training, I'll pretend that I'm teaching a mixed level group in the pod, even though you're all practicing this at home and you're all very experienced. Just so you can hear and imagine what it would be like for the students attending. This class structure that I'm about to teach is the same as Sleep Sessions 7 in the Sleep Sessions manual. It's a 45-minute class designed to be at lunchtime. Therefore, the Nidra will be 15 to 20 minutes, and the aim is to leave the student feeling rested, but also refreshed for the rest of the day, as opposed to an evening class, which would have a longer Nidra, as the student is not far away from their bedtime. Welcome to Sleep Sessions, everyone. My name is Carla. Check that you have all of your props, a bolster, 2 chunky bricks, towel, long sleeve layer, socks if you like, water, and we're ready to go. This class, Sleep Sessions, is a practice of moving slower and staying in the poses for an extended amount of time to help relax the body and calm the mind. We will be using some props during the class, but please modify if you need to, change position if you need to, or leave a pose out if it doesn't feel right for you today for whatever reason. Please let me know now if there are any injuries you'd like to let me know about before we begin, and I can come and chat to you at your mat. The environment of the pod is perfect for this style of class. You'll notice the glowing lights and the music, the gentle warmth. They're all here to help you ease into it. This class is designed to be a restful experience that will hopefully help you to have a better night's sleep when the time is right, as well as leaving you feeling refreshed and rejuvenated for the rest of your day ahead. We'll start with some gentle movement, followed by restorative poses and breath work to help relax the body and the nervous system, and gently stretch, finishing lying down for Yoga Nidra, which is a guided relaxation. I invite you to drop into the poses with a sense of curiosity. Notice how it feels to be stiller and to stay in the poses for longer. Perhaps the overarching questions you could ask yourself as you experience the poses are: how does it feel to do less? What is happening to my body and my mind as I move into the different stages of relaxation? Now let's start with some flowing movement to ease into the body. So for this gentle flowing movement, you might want to sit on a folded towel. Just raises the pelvis up slightly and helps to tilt the pelvis forwards into its optimal placement. Not too back and not too forwards. You can cross the ankles or you can cross the shins. It's up to you. Now let's sit tall, roll the shoulders back. You can even take a few moments to inhale, lift the shoulders up, exhale, draw the shoulders back and down. A yawn or a sigh. Just to help the body settle. And we'll just do a little bit of movement here before coming into the poses. So let your right ear now come towards the right shoulder. You can either close the eyes or you can look straight ahead or slightly downwards. The weight of the head will do this for you, will help to create a stretch between the left ear and the left shoulder. If you want to accentuate it, you take the arm up and over, the right hand, and it's a gentle encouragement as opposed to a pulling downwards. A few more breaths here. Smooth, steady breath through the nose. Relax the jaw. And use that same hand, if you've got it on the side of the head, bring it to the other side of the head. Cradle the head up and take the hand down. Spend a few moments noticing, does that side feel a bit lower than the right side? Is there a bit more space, perhaps, between the earlobe and the shoulder head? And let's go the other side. So we'll take the left ear towards the left shoulder, and the face facing forwards. And just let the head be heavy. And that should do the work for you, should create this stretch here, and it can be quite sore. So if it feels a bit much, you can ease off, do less. We hold a lot of tension in the neck. You could do the hand like this, or you could keep the hand on the knee. If you've got the hand, it's an encouragement rather than a pull. And keeping the sit bones grounded. Notice if the shoulders lift up, keep them down, relaxed. 2 more breaths here. And if you've got the hand on the head, take it to the other side and cradle the head back up and take the hand down. Let's take the fingertips behind, chains across the legs. And I'll just show you this from the side. You might do this as you're teaching as well. So this is a little bit like cat-cow, extension, flexion. Interlace the hands, turn the palms forwards and up, and tilt forwards up to the fronts of the sit bones. Lift the chest, lift the eye line, take a breath in. The breath out, reverse this. So you tip backwards, palms down, slight flexion of the spine. Breathing in. And breathing out. One more time, breathe in. You can do 3 to 5 of these. And breathe out. I'll just turn back this way so you can see a side bend next. Last thing we'll do here, take the right hand out to the side. Take the space. Now bend the elbow and the soft part of the elbow, the inner elbow turning up, and the knobbly part of the elbow downwards. Shoulder head drawn back. Ground down through the opposite sit bone. Lift the arm. Breathe here, look up. Could go into the deeper side bend if you like, looking up, straight ahead or down. And really, as you anchor down through that sit bone, there's a stretching feeling to have an opposition there where you're finding length. And you could even turn and look upwards as you feel that opening in the left rib cage. Change after this breath, and we'll go the other side. Hand down, elbow bending, inner part of the elbow facing up, knobbly part of the elbow down, head of the shoulder rolled back. Could be here, or it could be the deeper side bend, anchoring down through the sit bone, rolling the right ribs open, feeling the stretch in the intercostal muscles, these breathing muscles here. Eye line could be up or down or forwards. And coming up. Now we'll move into a breathing exercise called Nadi Shodhana, alternate nostril breathing. This technique lowers the heart rate, helps to lower stress and anxiety, and it's said to synchronize the 2 hemispheres of the brain and also gives us an activity to focus on as we practice this conscious, more meditative style of breathing. If at any point it feels like it's not for you today, you can leave it out, no problem. Just practicing a smooth, steady breath through the nose, sitting in meditation or lying down works just as well. And you can also practice this without pressing the nostrils. And you can imagine the nostril breathing instead if you're feeling quite congested today. Either sitting on a bolster like this or cross legs works fine too. Once you've chosen your position, sit tall, roll the shoulders back, and observe the breathing through both the nostrils. And you can do this with eyes closed, or you can have the eyes open. And if you choose to have the eyes open, you might downcast the eye line just past the knees, but keeping the head above the shoulders, the chin parallel to the floor. Noticing the breathing through both the nostrils. And is there one nostril that is a bit more congested than the other? And you might blink your eyes open just to watch me for the next bit. Take the first 2 fingers of the right hand, place them in between the eyebrows. Hover the thumb and the ring finger on the right hand next to the nostrils, and breathe through both nostrils for another few rounds of breath. Sitting tall as best as you can, feeling grounded, floor rising up to hold the body. Relaxing the jaw and the root of the tongue. Now lightly press the right nostril with the right ring finger. Inhale through the left for 1, 2, 3, 4. Close the left, exhale through right. 2, 3, 4. Inhale through right. 2, 3, 4. Close, exhale through the left. 2, 3, 4. That's one round. Inhale through the left. 3, 4. Close the left, exhale through right. 3, 4. Breathing in through the right. 3 and 4. Close, exhale through the left. 3 and 4. That's 2 rounds. Inhale through the left. Close, exhale through the right. Breathing in through the right. Close, exhale through the left. That's 3 rounds. Inhale through the left. Close, exhale through the right. Breathing in through the right. Close, exhale through the left. That's 4 rounds. 2 more rounds on your own, in your own time. No rush, but once you've finished, take the hand down and observe the breath through both the nostrils. And notice if one is more congested, or was the congested nostril cleared with the exercise? Do you feel a bit clearer? Are there any other effects? And start to feel into the seated shape. Notice how the body feels, either on your bolster or cross legs. Notice how the floor of the pod feels underneath the props. Hearing the sounds around you. And take a couple of deeper breaths. And starting to slowly blink the eyes open, taking in the light and the space around you. We'll move into our restorative pose now, and here is the setup for what I like to call sleeping tree. So the bolster goes vertically behind, and one block goes at the top, bolster like this, and just make sure that the hook for the bolster is the head end rather than at the bottom, because it might be bumpy on someone's back. If you've got the buckwheat style bolsters, then what can be really nice is if you get everyone to slide their hand down and just smush the bottom like this. So there's a gradual incline from head down to the low back. Now the next thing I'd like you to do is take your towel and have it like this. Place it on the floor and roll it into a noodle. This is going to support the back. Once you've made your noodle, take it to the lower part of the bolster. Take the other brick and have it at the side. Now take yourself back so that the lower back touches the noodle. Feet flat, knees bent. Easing down slowly to the bolster from here. Then lengthen the low back. Extend the left leg for the first side. Sole of the right foot to the inner part of the left leg. I like going for the calf. Some people go a bit higher. Then take the knee, the right knee, onto the brick at the side. Some people will prefer to have it at the higher setting like this, which is fine. And this is the first side of sleeping tree. So as you settle here for the first side of sleeping tree, make any adjustments that you need to feel even more comfortable. Maybe that's moving the foot slightly, or relaxing the shoulders, adjusting the shoulders, adjusting the head in any way. Let me know if you need an extra prop or any support, any help. The aim of this pose is to be as comfortable as possible with the support of the props. You might like to close the eyes, or you can keep them open. Whatever feels more comfortable for you. Dropping into the shape of the pose. Notice how it feels to be in this supported back bend and hip opener. Observe how the mat feels underneath and the bolster under the back, the noodle towel supporting the lower back, the brick under the knee. And begin to observe the movement of the breath through the nose. Notice the pathway of the breath through the nose on the inhale and the exhale. Relaxing the jaw. Maybe even taking a yawn or a sigh. Big open jaw if you go for the yawn. Dropping in to a spacious relaxation where we've got time to be in the poses. And over the next 10 minutes or so in these poses, the body will start to feel more relaxed. And this slowing down will help to drop into the parasympathetic side of the nervous system, the rest and digest, which is essential to our well-being and our balance. As you observe the movement of the breath here, notice if there is any habitual tension that you feel like you're holding, maybe around the jaw or the neck or the shoulders or anywhere else. And see if you can connect with the breath, and the breath might be able to bring space, release to those areas. Perhaps the inhale brings in some space and the exhale invites release. We'll be roughly 1 more minute here on this side. Over the next few rounds of breath, use your right hand to gather the right knee, draw it upwards towards the top of the pod, right solar foot to the mat, lengthen the leg long onto the mat. And we'll set up for the other side. Take your brick over to the left, bend the left knee, Set up with the sole of the left foot on the calf of the right leg and the left knee supported by the block. Do whatever you need to do to feel even more comfortable. Any more adjustments that you need to make, please do. As we set up for the second side of Sleeping Tree, roughly 5 minutes here. So as we move into the second set, this second side, so we've been here for 5 minutes already in this reclined shape with an extension of the mid-back. Noticing, does the body feel slightly more used to this shape now? When you started, there might have been some holding on, some tension in the back, and notice if that tension might have drifted away, melted away. And it's okay if it's still there. Adjust if you need to feel more comfortable. Send the breath to that area. And what we're doing here is we're cultivating an attention inwards to the sensations of the body. Because so much of our time we're thinking about our to-do lists, our work, our responsibilities. We're jumping ahead into the future or thinking about the past. And this style of yoga helps us to be present, to anchor into the present moment by noticing how we feel exactly right now in the body. So spend a few breaths here. I won't talk for a little while, noticing how the body feels in this pose now that you've spent 7 or so minutes. Noticing with a bit more detail now the anatomy, what is going on in the body. So we have a hip opener. In this case, it's the left hip that's opening, this external rotation. The extension of the midsection of the back. The midsection of the spine, supported by the bolster. And this extension helps to release tension in lots of areas of the body. The pelvic floor, solar plexus, rib cage, shoulders and neck. All of these support relaxation. And when there's more relaxation, when there's easeful breath, the heart and the lungs can do their work, can work effectively. The breathing mechanisms are assisted in this pose. There is a fuller breath, a freer breath potentially here. Spend a few more moments noticing the breathing. Does it feel different to when you started the class? Does it feel easier? And starting to bring the left hand to the left knee now and draw that left knee up towards the ceiling. Left solar foot to the floor. And extend that leg long onto the mat. And just for a moment, we'll bend the knees and knock the knees together, take the feet to the wide edges. So we're doing the opposite. And we'll start to move into the counter pose. So moving slowly here, moving the brick out the way. We'll take the right arm over the head and slowly roll off the bolster, using the left hand to support you as you roll off. Lay there for a few moments on the side, no rush. And starting to press the floor away, coming up slightly, and move the props out the way so you haven't fully come up. Lay flat on your back, legs long, or you can bend the knees with the feet to the outer edges as an alternative, and stay here for 1 minute. I'll let you know when it's time to come out. Starting to breathe a little deeper through the nose, maybe a stretch, and rolling over to the right once more. Pressing up to a seat. And we'll take a counter twist here. So the left leg is long, right foot comes up and over. Left elbow hooks around the right knee, right fingertips behind. Take 3 breaths here, inhaling, spine long. Exhaling, rotating to the side. Breathing in, sit bones into the floor. Exhale. Maybe look towards the back shoulder. 1 more breath here. Twisting a little deeper if you like. Then coming back around to bow to the other side. And we'll change. So this neutralizes the spine. We've had the laying flat, and now we have the twist. And we'll do the other way now. Right elbow, and breathing in to lift long in the spine. Exhale to rotate. Breathing in, sit tall. Exhale to twist. 1 more here. Perhaps looking to the back shoulder in that direction. Coming back around, take a bow. And now for Yoga Nidra, the guided relaxation. There are 2 ways to lie down that are the most comfortable, in my opinion. This is the first one that most people like, with the bolster under the knees, folded towel for the head, and you might also put the long sleeved layer on, even though you might not feel like you need it, because the body will be still for at least 15 minutes, the body temperature drops. So feel free to put your long sleeve layer and your socks on as well. When you're ready, if you've got this position, come down and relax. Lengthen the tail, the low back. Any adjustments that you want to make from there, go for it. And the alternative position, say that doesn't work for you today, is lying on your side, which can feel more comfortable, with the blanket or the towel under the head. The left leg is long, in line with the hip. The bolster next to the leg. And the right lower part of the leg, the knee, the lower part of the leg, the ankle, the foot, they're all supported by the bolster. So it's not just the knee, it's not just the foot, it's that whole lower leg, stacking the shoulders, stacking the hips. And you can lay like this. And it might be that you double up and do a bit of this. So whatever position works for you. I quite like the reclined with the bolster beneath the knees. So setting up for Yoga Nidra, preparing the body to be as comfortable as possible. Feel free to yawn or sigh. Prepare yourself for the practice of Yoga Nidra. Get as comfortable as possible. Adjust your props if you need to. Make any movements that you need to. All movements are welcome. And feel free to wriggle, yawn, sigh, to give the body a signal. You can get even more comfortable. And please know that you can change position if you need to. If you need to change position, just do it mindfully and slowly. The objective here is to be as comfortable as possible so that the body can feel effortless. So anything that you need to do to allow that to happen, go for it. Let me know if you need any help with props. All noises are welcome, so if you need to cough or sneeze or yawn, that is absolutely fine. And just noticing how you are, noticing how you're feeling in the body, noticing how you are emotionally, if there's anything on your mind, if there are any sensations that are quite strong in the body. And just know that that's okay. You are welcome exactly as you are to this practice of Yoga Nidra. Exactly as you are today. Welcome yourself to this practice. All of you is welcome, exactly as you are. And from Sanskrit to English, Nidra translates as sleep. And the intention of this practice is to allow the body to rest in a state of being that is effortless. And during the practice, it's likely that you will drift in and out of wakefulness, and that is okay. It might be that you hear my voice and you listen to the voice. It might be that you listen to the sound of my voice rather than the words. It's really normal to drift in and out of that sleepy state. So see how you go. And the benefits of traveling through these different states of rest include memory recall, effective digestion is supported, enhanced concentration and elevated mood, as well as many other benefits that you can take away into your day after the practice. So as you settle the body here, notice the sensations of the surface underneath the body, the feeling of the mat, the towel, the props. And if you like, you can imagine not only the mat underneath the body, but the spongy layer of the pod, the soft floor of the pod, and think of the foundation of the building underneath. And you might like to imagine the earth underneath the building. And the earth, the layers beneath, they can be as deep or as shallow as you like. And they are all rising up to hold the body here in rest. And if you like, you can take another yawn or sigh. Big open jaw if you go for the yawn. And notice the saliva in the mouth. And relax the root of the tongue as best as you can. Release the jaw. Noticing any sounds that you can hear around the pod. The fans that are holding the pod in its inflated shape. Noticing any music that you can hear. The air around the face. If there's any scent in the pod. Any essential oil. Notice the warmth of the pod. The low lighting. The pink and purple hues. I'm becoming aware now of the breath through the nose. Breathing steadily through the nose, naturally through the nose. Noticing the texture of the breath. And perhaps you notice that there's a coolness to the breath in and a warmth to the breath out. And as you're observing the breath here in the cozy pod, supported by the props, you can rest assured that you are supported here for the practice of Yoga Nidra. You are supported here in this perfect environment. And you might like to take a few moments to set an intention for the practice. This could be something like, I allow the body to rest. Or maybe there's something else that you want to say to yourself. There's a message within that's positive and reassuring. Let that message emerge. Or you might like to use the affirmation, I allow the body to rest. And repeat that phrase that you've chosen, if you're happy to, 2 or 3 times silently within. Bring your attention to the center of the forehead and imagine a golden light at the center of the forehead. This golden light is the light of awareness. And as it moves around the body, there's no need to do anything or change anything. You can simply notice the light moving around the body. This light of awareness moves down to the throat center, the space between the collarbones, across to the right shoulder, right elbow, right wrist, right thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger and little finger on the right hand, the right wrist, right elbow, right shoulder and the space between the collarbones, the throat center. This golden light now moves across to left shoulder, left elbow, left wrist, left thumb, first finger, middle finger, ring finger and little finger on the left hand. Back up to left wrist, left elbow, left shoulder and the space between the collarbones, the throat center. This attention now comes down to the heart center, the center of the chest, the golden light moving to the right side of the chest, and back to the heart center, the center of the chest. Over to the left side of the chest. And back to the heart center, the center of the chest. The light of attention moving down to the belly, the pubic bone, the right hip, right knee, right ankle, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe and fifth toe. Back to the right ankle, the right knee, the right hip and the pubic bone. Cross to left hip, down to left knee, left ankle, left big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe and fifth toe. Back to the left ankle, left knee, left hip and the pubic bone, the navel, the heart center, middle of the chest, the throat center, middle of the collarbones, and the eyebrow center. I invite you to spend some time now observing and noticing those points of contact that your awareness has traveled to. And on the breath in, perhaps those lights, the golden lights, get brighter, like they're stars in the sky getting brighter. And the exhale, the light dims and softens. The breath in, the light brightens. And the breath out, the light softens and dims. So it's almost like there are little stars all around the body, these lights of awareness, of golden lights, brightening and softening in unison with the breath. Practice this by yourself for a little bit longer. And for now, letting the lights, the golden light, let the golden light dim and fade for now. Coming back to that sense of being supported by the floor, so the layers beneath, the layer of the mat, the soft floor of the pod, the foundation of the building, and the layers beneath the foundation of the building of earth, that can be as deep or as shallow as you like. And those layers are rising up to hold the body. And perhaps as the body is held here by those layers, there's a heaviness to the body. The body could feel heavy as it releases down into the layers of support. Spend a few moments noticing if the body could feel heavy as it releases down. And now in contrast, noticing the airy quality around the face, above the body and around the body, this airy, spacious quality that you could imagine rising a few inches above the face, or it could go all the way to the top of the pod, or you might like to imagine it going all the way to the top of the building that you're in, even higher into the sky, all the way up into the clouds. This airy, spacious quality. And with that spaciousness, perhaps the body could feel lighter. There's a lightness to the body, a feeling of lightness, almost like you could float away and lift away from the mat. Spend a few breaths here, experiencing that lightness, that airiness. Coming back now to the intention that you set. Perhaps it was to allow the body to rest, or perhaps there was a message that you felt or heard from inside. And repeat that message, or notice if there's a new message, a new intention or resolve that you can hear within. Notice if it's changed. And rest assured that you have allowed the body to rest here. You have intentionally hit pause and intentionally rested to benefit the body and mind and the systems of the body. And taking some time now to come back to the feeling of being supported here on the floor. Noticing the feeling of the mat and the props, and how it feels to be rested here in the pod. Noticing the textures, noticing the temperature of the pod, the sensation of the clothes against the skin, and the movement of the breath through the nose. You might notice the sounds of the pod, the fans holding the pod in the inflated shape, the music, and knowing that in the next minute or so, the practice of Yoga Nidra will start to come to a close. But no rush. So we'll begin by deepening the breath through the nose, deepening the breath on the inhale and exhale, imagining that the breath in is going all the way to the edges of the shape, tips of fingers, toes, top of head, and the exhale it comes back to center. Inhaling all the way to the edges, and exhale back to center. Taking a little movement into fingers and toes, perhaps a stretch, a yawn, or a sigh, and bending the knees, rolling over to the side, and taking a few moments to lay in a side-lying position, exactly as you would if you were at home resting. And press the floor away, coming up to a seated pose to finish. And as you sit here to finish, place the hands on the body. Remind yourself where you are. You're in hot pod. You just practiced sleep sessions. You can feel the breath against the hands, the movement of the breath. And either with the eyes open or closed, you can just notice how you feel after the class. How does it feel after the practice of doing less? What happened to the body and the mind as they moved into the different stages of relaxation? Noticing the effects of this intentionally slower practice. And giving yourself a well done for this focused, meditative style of yoga that you've committed to here. What I would suggest is when you leave the pod slowly, is eat a little piece of dark chocolate, as it can really help after the practice of Yoga Nidra to bring the senses back into the body. So a little bit of dark chocolate, perhaps some water, take it slow. Any questions, I'm here. And thank you so much for attending Sleep Sessions today. See you soon.